Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to preview a box of reels that were sent in to me from Dan out in California. Dan's a returning customer of mine, and Dan contacted me the other day and mentioned that he's got some reels that, he's just not using any longer. Some of them may be in parts and pieces for disrepair, and would I be interested in getting them? Well, those of you that follow my channel know my channel is called Second Chance Tackle. And I'd love to give reels a second chance. And if you've got reels that you're not using, or you're thinking of tossing away or whatever, if you want to give me a holler, I'll be happy to make sure that they get a second chance, or at a minimum that their parts are used to help other reels continue to keep on fishing there. So there are a couple of reels in here that Dad mentioned he would like to have serviced. We'll go through these, and then we'll show you the other reels that we'll be working on. One of the things I do with reels, folks ask me all the time, what do you do with some of the reels that you get at flea markets and the like? I belong to a couple of fishing clubs here on the Northeast. I do that to just kind of keep the networking going and understand kind of where the good bites are and things like that. And every now and then those clubs will have some featured speakers that are very interesting, and I get to those meetings just to hear the folks. And it's on everything. I mean, I've heard talks on the lobster fishery in mid-Atlantic. I've heard talks from the rep from Penn Reels and others that I just find fascinating. So at any rate, those clubs oftentimes have an extension into youth fishing programs. And there's one in particular that works up in the northern part of New Jersey that features or focuses on the Hudson River and its estuaries. And they have a youth program. And a lot of times they'll invite youngsters to come on out and learn fishing and get to enjoy it firsthand. And when they do, a lot of them don't have tackle. Well, these become ready candidates for supplying them. So let's take a look at what Dan sent in, and I'll show you a little bit about them. And I think what we'll probably find is most of these are in need a little help and service, but most of them can get a second chance. This one is a Penn 78. Penn 78s are interesting. Most of the frame pieces, the crossbars, the bottom, and the side plates meet or work with other brands. So for example, this is marked as the Penn 180 as the reel seat. So the reel seat and the cross posts, if you have a Penn 180, which is in the Beachmaster series, well, these can fit. This side plate may or may not fit the Penn 85 and the 285 Delmar reels. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check on that. This one's missing the tensioner. There's a burring tensioner with a spring it's missing. Well, I think we'll probably be able to find one of them. Unique to the 78 is that it is not a star drag reel. This reel is what's called a knuckle buster. It'll go backwards when the spool turns backwards. This is going to be tough to turn it because of the missing bearing. But there you go. When that spool turns backwards, the handle's going to turn backwards. And of course it's going to go forward when it's forward. It's skipping now because that bearing is not keeping tension on the spool. We'll find that bearing. We'll get that one out there and give it a chance. Here's the second one. I just got this question. Got it on the side stab. This one's going to help me work on that, or at least see if I can figure it out for them. This is a Shimano FX 2000. It's been around a long time. Very dependable reel. It's missing its little spool removal system. There's a button that goes in here that pushes down on the click to make that work. I guess what you could do, yeah, we're going to get stuck on that because of that. The FX 200's been dependable and been relatively inexpensive. And Dan's asked me if I can fix this. I think what we're going to have to do is figure out the spool first, and then we'll see if we can find out why that's kind of catching there in the trip feature. Okay, next up then, we have another Penn, and this might be the 180. This is the Penn 160. So this is in the Beachmaster series. The Beachmaster series had the It had the 160, which is just a little bit shorter than the 155, but all of the frame pieces, the side plate, the screws on both sides, they can be interchanged with that 155 and also with the 160. The difference is in the frame width. This one has a plastic or a Bakelite spool. It's shattered. That's not uncommon for these reels to have the breaks on the seams here. And well, this one can still go fishing. It's not terrible. We'll see what we can do. That one's in pretty tough shape at the moment, but doesn't mean you can't go fishing again. And this is the 150 Surfmaster. So the Surfmaster came in 3 varieties. It came in the 100, the 150, and the 200. It came in 4 varieties, and the 250. The first 3, the 100, 150, and 200, all are identical side plates except for the naming on the side. Each can be swapped with any of those versions. The side plate here showing the Surfcaster on it and saying Surfcaster not only fits the 100, 150, and 200, it also fits the Beachmaster series. So you could take this side plate, if this one was broken, you could take this side plate and mount it. You'll see that the screw patterns and everything are identical. These can work on this, and if you don't have a side plate for the Surfmaster, you could use this one there. So Penn did specialize in using a lot of parts between models, and to the extent that you can find the right models for them, then you can make these things go a lot longer. Inside, this one is beautiful. This reel is probably 40 years old, and we have a nice chrome-plated bridge, and there's no reason in the world why this one can't be tuned up and get out there fishing again. I think if I remember this one, it may fit the 65, the Model 65 Long Beach as well from the foot. Well, here's a big one. This is the 99. The 99 is the Penn Silver Beach. You don't find this one around too much anymore. You didn't find it around much when it was there in the 60s. So we were showing you the 150. So this is the same size frame as the 150 Surfmaster, but it's a wider spool, and the wider spool enables you to get more line on there. And just like the Surfmaster, this has a single screw take apart as well. And again, kind of beautiful inside, right? You have that chrome plated bridge. This doesn't look like it's been fishing much. This is actually one of the first reels that I bought, so I know it's in the 60s. And this one's great for bottom fishing because of the capacity. You can go with a higher line, and you can fish this one a lot. What's the downside of it? Well, the downside with this reel is that it's a low gear ratio, so you're kind of cranking a little bit. Here's a nice old one. So this is a Long Beach. It's an early one. Well, actually, it's the Bay Head. So this one's been around quite some time. We just did one on the Bridge City. So Bay Head, well, Penn named theirs from cities. There is a Bay Head in New Jersey. I'm not sure if that's what it was named after, but this one's a very old reel. This one's probably 1940 or so. One of the things when you see I called it a Long Beach because I looked at it right away, and what I saw was the squared shoulders. You can see how square these things line up. The newer models have a rounded shoulder. You can see the roundings on these. So the square shoulders are the older version. And then we have what's called the etched side plates. So in this case, you have a Surfcaster, a lighthouse, sailboat, and the words on the outside of it with the Penn reel from Philadelphia. We'll get that one going because internally that reel is the same as modern day reels. And here's the other one that he was asking me if I couldn't get working again. This is a Quantum. It's the Quantum SS, oh, it's hard to say now. QSS maybe, a 4-ball bearing reel. Has one of these trigger drags where you can kind of work it without tightening the bottom. So you find the range and then you can work it on. And these are always fun. Saltwater protected. I'm not quite sure what that means, but we'll see how well that is sealed and how well that protects. So that's what Dan sent in. And again, thanks to Dan, I'm sure we're going to be able to give some of these away, get the youngsters fishing with them. To others, there's some projects that you may see. And if you're interested in seeing any of these reels done, please let me know, and I'll try and do my best to do a video on those. So to our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for everything it is that you've done and are doing to keep us safe during the pandemic. To everybody, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.